Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
And by Stamp Connection and BeFit Gyms. A very special thanks to all the sponsors who help make our programming possible.
Hello, I'm Monica Weitzel, the host of Community Hotline. Each week we bring you important information on resources available to you, places you can donate your time or money, and events you can attend. Tonight's show starts with an organization called Abilities at Work. If you know of someone with an intellectual or developmental disability looking for work, this is a great place to start. And then we'll hear about an event taking place in September called Portland Veterans Stand Down. The purpose of this event is to honor and support veterans who are either experiencing or are at risk of homelessness. And finally, we'll talk with the Springdale Job Corps Center. Many young people have a difficult time finishing school and figuring out a path to meaningful employment. The Job Corps may be just what these young adults need to become employable and independent. There's a lot of need in our community for the groups you'll hear from tonight. I hope you'll stay tuned and listen to what they have to say. It's coming up next on Community Hotline. Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to start off tonight talking with Abilities at Work. Here to represent this organization, I have David Einhorn. You are the Business Development Coordinator. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And Gerald Pierce, you are the Executive Director of Abilities at Work.
Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So, Abilities at Work is the first location was in Hillsborough, right? But you've expanded to the east side as well. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We were incorporated in '86, so
through
a grant through the U of O, and we've been providing people with intellectual developmental disabilities job opportunities for a good 30 years now.
That's a long time. Has it changed a lot through the years?
It has.
I imagine you haven't been here the whole time, but
pretty close.
Really?
But,
you've been here a long time, huh? Wow.
It's changed quite a bit. It's much more mainstream now. There's much more education out there for individuals and businesses alike to pursue gainful employment, and it makes it a little easier for us to make those contacts with local businesses.
I think there's not such a stigma anymore to people with disabilities. Back when I was a kid, I think people with disabilities didn't usually find jobs.
Right.
And that's a shame because there's a lot of capability out there that was probably just wasted, and that's sad. But that's changed a lot. I mean, people recognize that we all have something to contribute.
Well, there's no institutions anymore, really, where people are kind of tucked away and much more community-based and integrated now.
Good. So how do people find out about you? How do they get to you? And the people that you employ or that you find jobs for?
Well, that's we get referrals from the county.
We get referrals from the county. We also get referrals from vocational rehabilitation.
Okay.
And we job develop through VR, or vocational rehabilitation.
So what about Abilities at Work is different from other organizations like this? Because there are other organizations that work with people with disabilities, but how are you different? Are you?
I think we do a really good job with follow through and communication. It's really important for us not only to listen to the clients we're serving and the people that know them well and really find out what their skills and abilities are, and also the communication with the employer.
Yeah, I think that would be really key to keeping them happy. Right?
Absolutely. There's sometimes little things that happen at work can turn into big things if you don't address them correctly.
Sure.
So we really try to keep those lines of communication open.
And it's really important that we match the right person with the right job.
Right. So in your job, David, what exactly do you do? Are you the one that's in contact with the businesses that they work for, or how does this work?
Actually, my job, I go out and talk to the businesses and try to create the opportunities for these individuals. So I'm like the front face of abilities at work.
Right.
I go out and meet with these businesses and then do tours or just talk about ways that they can improve their workforce in hiring an individual.
And provide some more diversity to their workforce, which is, I think, really important. You provided a couple videos, didn't you?
Yeah, one of the videos is just like an overview of abilities at work and kind of some things that we do. And then another one is an individual that I'm working with doing job development for, and she's looking for a job. And one of her things is a video resume. It shows more of her skills and what she can do and where it would be a good fit with an employer rather than seeing a paper application and not knowing that much about the person.
Smart thing to do. Video's a smart thing to do. So I think this would probably be a good time to take a look at that. Okay, let's do that now.
With one word, I think abilities at work is opportunity. You know, a lot of times people think individuals with disabilities may have difficulties in certain areas, but it's not really different than anybody else. We all have difficulties in certain areas. Our mission is to work in partnership with businesses to provide wage-based opportunities for the individuals we serve who happen to have intellectual developmental disabilities. And it's our job to make a good job match, and if we do that, that business will not only, diversify their workforce, but get the productivity that they need.
I like to be around people. I like to work hard. I do not care careless.
That's great. Angela looks like a very happy person.
She is a very happy person.
She's got looks like she has a really great attitude, which is really important to employers.
Yeah, I believe that the individuals we work with have a greater appreciation for the job opportunity.
Because it's probably more difficult for them to get a job. So, and knowing that
better disposition when it comes to going to work.
That's great. It's really irritating when you have somebody that you work with who just has a nasty attitude all the time. I mean, it really makes the workplace uncomfortable. So that's really great. So what are some of the things that you do for your clients, the people that come in and want to get a job? What what kinds of things are you able to provide for them?
We're able to provide computer classes. A lot of the individuals that we work with have never been in front of a computer,
Right.
nor do they know what a computer does. So we teach them from ground level all the way up through like Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoints and stuff like that. They would use to be able to transfer to a job site.
Yeah, because most jobs, I
Right.
mean, most
You
jobs
have to use
require
something
some
on it.
kind of, even if it's just checking in, like clocking in.
Yeah.
It's
We have
important to know.
individuals that have never used the mouse.
Yeah.
And one of our staff found a great program where you put puzzles together by clicking and dragging
really?
the pieces across the screen, and that has really helped with just the manipulation
Yeah,
of the
that's good.
mouse.
There's so many cool programs and things out there that you really have to search to find things, I imagine, that really work for
Right.
your clientele. What are some of the biggest obstacles or hurdles that they have to overcome in finding a job?
One is transportation.
Yeah.
If they're able to take TriMet, that's great. If they're able to take TriMet Lyft, still works. But if their businesses are off that bus line, I think we only have like 3 or 4 people that have driver's licenses. So,
Okay, yeah.
and if they live rurally, that can be a real difficult issue.
So you're probably always looking for businesses. I mean, that list of businesses that were up there was pretty impressive. You know, those are all names that people know, and that's good to see. But do you continue to look for businesses who are willing to employ?
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So that's a big part of what David does.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you tell a business if they're considering using people from Abilities at Work? What are some of the things that they need to know?
I educate them a little bit about the individual. I also tell them about the tax incentives that are offered through the state and the IRS and stuff. And then I'll also show some comparative things that show why these people want to go to work and what you're going to benefit from employing these individuals.
Some jobs are probably just better done by some of your clients because they're either repetitive or they're, or some people just don't want to do them and they're willing and happy, to do them, which is...
On occasion, we'll find out maybe what's not getting done at a particular work site.
Yeah. Like we have a problem keeping anybody in this position or doing this job. Yeah.
And we're also very adept at job carving. And what I mean by that is taking a portion of a job. Maybe the individual can't, maybe works at the movie theater, but they can't do the cash register or something along those lines. So we'll approach that employer with the things that we know they'll be successful with. And sometimes they can take that portion out and set it aside so the other individuals that work there can spend their time on the more complicated tasks.
Sure, some of them appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, watching Angela there, for example, she was doing the shirts, the screen printing, and then she was also cleaning.
Right.
2 different jobs at a lot of places, but the fact she can do both of them, that's probably a real benefit. I'm not particularly fond of cleaning toilets, so I know, and here everybody does a little bit of everything, but I get that. So, so a business hiring somebody, they would get tax benefits, they would, get a good employee, and they mentioned supportive employment. What exactly does that refer to? Does that mean that you communicate with them and?
Yeah, we provide ongoing support. So usually when a person starts a job, it depends on what the business is interested in doing. Sometimes they want to do the training. Other times we can come in and help out with that.
Okay.
And we can provide that training one-to-one for a period of time until that individual gets the hang of stuff and gets more independent. And then as they get more independent, we fade out a little bit, but we're always available and we're always coming back in. If there's any changes to the job, any issues that come up, we really want to address those right away, and so the individual can continue to work there.
You've been around for a long time, so they must be doing something right. It must be working. Can you tell me about, I obviously we saw a little bit about Angela, but can you tell me about somebody else that has come in and tell me why they came in and what the process is they go through? Just give me kind of a little snapshot of one of your clients coming in and how that all works.
We had 3 individuals come from Southern Oregon, and they had moved up into the Portland area, and they started going to our Hillsborough office, and they said they want a job. They want to work in the food services. And in the long process, I had been working with trying to get on with Aramark at Nike. And we eventually got to the point where we could employ 3 individuals at one of their sites. So I got the client through the process of interviewing and getting the job, and then we did the job coaching, and then we slowly integrated ourselves out, and the client became successful in the job.
Great, great. And they were able to stay at that job for some period of
Yeah, they've
time?
been there for over 2 years
They're
now.
still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So when somebody's getting ready to go for a job interview, are you able to give them some coaching or some classes to help
Yeah,
them?
we do some job development classes where we talk about like sexual harassment or any issues that are going on a job site. And also, as a job developer like myself, I would be making a resume and a cover letter with the client, working closely with interviewing skills,
Right.
prepping them for the interview.
How to go in and shake hands, make eye
Yeah,
contact,
eye
those kind of
contact,
things that are
Ask
hard for a lot of
questions
people.
at
They're
the
hard
end of
for
the interview.
people that don't have disabilities. So, yeah, that's important. What else do we need to know about abilities at work? What would you like the public to know before we run out of time here?
Well, I think we just want to get our name out there and get our service out there to more and more businesses.
Okay.
That's one of the difficult things, when you're applying for jobs and you're just filling out applications and doing that type of work. It's tough to get through. It's tough to get through.
It's harder than heck to get through.
The individuals we serve don't have a lot of experience usually, and so there's got to be something to set them apart and something to get the decision makers
Right.
attention, and that's where David comes in and tries to get a relationship going with the organization. And one of the other things is it's really important that we don't try to force a job situation. We always have to pay attention to that job match. That is really important. And
on both sides.
On both sides,
Yeah.
absolutely. That employer needs the productivity, and it needs to be something that the individual is comfortable with. And if you don't do that, it won't last.
Yeah.
And if you make a mistake like some people sometimes do,
Yeah.
and it doesn't work out, then are you able to help support them and ease them out of that job and into another, try to help them find another position?
We can start the process over again.
Okay. We're out of time. It sounds like you're doing a fantastic job, and I really appreciate that you were able to come out here and talk to us about it. So I hope that if there are businesses out there that are interested in hiring some new people, they will consider abilities at work as well as people that are looking for a job. So thank you, gentlemen, very much for coming out today.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thanks for watching the first segment of Community Hotline. We'll be back in just a moment with more, so don't go away.
Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
And by Stamp Connection and BeFit Gyms. A very special thanks to all the sponsors who help make our programming possible.
So important for me to have the right to be able to speak what I want to speak and talk about what I want to talk about.
If you start shutting this person up and shutting that person up and shutting this person up, that's not America.
The future is accessible. Everything we do today paves the way for tomorrow.
Como medios comunitarios, tenemos una parte importante en una cultura que está constantemente cambiando.
И нам нужно спросить себя, будет ли сообщение средств массовой информации в будущем одновременными и одноменными?
How do we share our collective resources within and between our communities?
Làm thế nào chúng ta có thể sử dụng công nghệ truyền thông chúng ta muốn làm cho tương lai của chúng ta tốt đẹp hơn?
Izazov za nas je da napravimo budućnost dostupnu za sve.
To start the conversation, join us at MetroEast Community Media. Hi, welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And now I would like to introduce to you a couple of people that are going to be talking about an event called Portland Veterans Stand Down. With me today, I have from Transition Projects, I have Alex Glover. You are the Director of Housing Services. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And Patty J., you're with Central City Concern. And let's see, you are the Veteran Employment Specialist.
Yes.
Thanks for being here. And
Thank you.
You've been on the show before. I'm delighted to have
Great
you
to be
here.
back. Thank you, Monica.
So tell me a little bit about Portland Veterans. Well, no, let's back up. Let's start with Transition Projects, because you're the organization that's actually kind of putting this on, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Transition Projects so viewers who might not know what you do know what you do.
Yeah, so Transition Projects, we're a homeless service provider in Portland. We serve mostly Multnomah County, but our veteran services actually cover Clark, Clackamas, and Washington County as well. Our goal is to help people meet their basic and immediate needs as they transition from homelessness to housing. So we do basic need services like a resource center where folks can come in and take showers, do laundry, get mail there. We help folks with transit fare, ID assistance, storage, haircuts, you name it.
Do a lot.
Yeah. And then we operate multiple shelters in the area as well.
You're like one of the biggest ones in the area, aren't you, as far as
like how many
like
beds?
That?
And I believe we have 7 right now.
7 different units,
shelters.
or not units, but shelters, yeah.
And then we also operate severe weather shelter as well. So when the Portland freeze happens, we're
it usually does every year.
Yeah, we're working overtime and opening multiple additional locations where folks can come and get out of the cold.
Get warmed up and stay alive.
Yeah, and then we provide case management as well to folks. So we have various grants and funding sources and case managers who help folks kind of identify their needs and their goals and help them move into housing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big undertaking right there. Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. And you're just in charge of the housing, huh?
Yeah.
just that. Nothing
housing.
much. Yeah. Wow. So Patty, how does Central City Concern tie into this?
Well, we're definitely a partner with Transition Projects. We've been doing employment for Transition Projects. So Central City Concern does 3 things that we really focus on. Housing, so we manage a lot of low-income housing apartments throughout the city, moving into East County soon. We do employment, so we have about 25 employment specialists that have all work out of different grants, and we, including veterans. And then we also do recovery programs. So heavy into recovery programs. We have an Old Town Clinic that people can go in and really tap into. So Central City's mission is really to provide self-sufficiency tools for people to be able to, it's just like a timeline, going from shelter to self-sufficiency with, recovery programs and employment. So we really want to see people succeed.
Right. I don't know what people would do without organizations like this, really. I mean, obviously homelessness is a hot topic right now, and there's a lot of it. And yeah, if we didn't have these good organizations, it would really be tough for people. It is tough for people anyway, but you know, it would be much tougher. So I know, Patty, you've always done a lot of work with veterans, and that you are a veteran. Tell me a little bit about Portland Veterans Stand Down. This is an annual event, correct?
Right, and I'm actually going to pass this on to my fellow veteran, Alex.
And so you're a veteran as well?
Yes, yes, Navy vet. So the Portland Veterans Stand Down has been happening in Portland for, I would say, upwards of 15 years.
Really that long?
Central City carried the torch for a while. This will be Transition Project's 6th year organizing the event. And so really we want it to be a giant resource and career fair for veterans where folks can kind of come in, and it's a one-stop shop. So if you're sleeping outside and you're a veteran, you can come in, you can get a haircut, your animal can get taken care of.
Wow.
You can access legal services, healthcare services, income development resources, a food pantry.
Wow.
We'll
That's
gear
a
you
lot.
up, you know, for staying dry outside.
So this is geared for people that are homeless or at risk of being homeless,
Right.
who are veterans.
Yeah, and so the you know, there was a large national initiative to end veteran homelessness, and in Portland, we housed about 1,300 veterans and their families in 2 years.
Wow.
And so
Remarkable.
after that kind of big push, we're still, you know, we're still mostly here for literally homeless vets. But the Stand Down is morphing more to helping people get out of poverty, or inch kind of one step closer out of poverty. And so we have more employers now than we have ever had. Last year we had, I want to say, 11 folks get jobs at the Stand Down.
Cool.
You know, out of 300 plus people.
But you know,
it's
hey, it's a start,
progress.
right? Yeah, it's a start.
And so we've become more experienced in kind of vetting the employers too, and making sure that they have jobs to offer to folks. And
Don't
so,
just tease us with, you know, saying you might have one.
yeah,
Right,
and so I think our goal this year is upwards of 60 employers at the event, and so who are there with jobs ready to offer, and that's honestly Patty J's specialty as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think that people are figuring out that we really owe it to our vets to provide something for them. You know, they've given so much and sacrificed so much that, you know, for them to be homeless and jobless, and you know, it's just not fair.
Right.
So what have you been doing in that area? And also tell me about women veterans as well.
So yeah, the employment piece is really key, and that was my place at the table last year. This year, running Women Veterans Program, Northwest Women Veterans Connection, we've talked about. I really, when I asked at the last Stand Down meeting how many female veterans actually attended the Stand Down, of the 300, I think the number was 18.
Really, that's it.
So that was shocking to me, and that really spoke to the fact that we need to really focus and do more outreach and welcome more women veterans to the Stand Down to receive services, knowing that a lot of times female veterans and those who identify as a female veteran do not feel comfortable being in a large group of male veterans. So there's a lot of reasons why they may not even come to it. So this year, and I've heard in the past years this was attempted, but this year there will be a lounge, and we're going to call it the She, Her, Hers Lounge, after the female pronouns.
Yes, I like it.
So that's another hidden population of those who identify as
and it's
female.
good that you point that out, because that's something it would be very difficult to be in the service, I imagine, and to be dealing with either, you know, transitioning, or to, you know, just to be a gay or bi or anything else, you know, anything other than what you're expected to be. And that's, that would be difficult. So extra support there.
Extra support. We're hoping in the lounge we'll have staff from the VA, from the LGBTQ Veterans Program, the Women's Clinic. There'll be women from my program there to offer peer support and just to welcome and give them a safe zone in which to, you know, feel like they can participate in the Stand Down and figure out ways to be, you know, changing their lives.
Right. And that's important. And it's important to know that you're going to be there and that there's a focus on that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that sounds a lot more welcoming than maybe they thought it would be in past years.
Right.
Tell people what stand down refers to, what that term refers to. Being a vet, I know you know that one, and I know what it means. But how do you use it in this context?
Yeah. So stand down when you're active duty is kind of it's essentially time away from what you're doing.
Kind of off for a while, right?
Yeah, it's to get some respite, or to if you're stateside, it's like a day full of training and resources and stuff like that. But it's usually kind of time away from the day to day and to take care of yourself.
You get a break.
Yeah, you get a break. And so stand down, we didn't name the stand down. It's been happening for decades. Stand downs have been happening for decades across the country. And it really started with a group of Vietnam vets, and I believe it was San Diego. And that was like a 2 or 3 day camp out with all kinds of resources. But it's time to just, take care of yourself, hang out with some other vets, and
recognize that you do maybe need a little extra help, and we're here to provide it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what we really hope for our veterans in the Portland area. And we have different stand downs throughout the state. Different counties have them. And
all at the same time?
They're all different times. Each of the counties usually take, participating, putting a stand down. So the idea is the same.
And we have some photos from this, I believe it was last year's. This is a Memorial Coliseum?
Yes, and that's where it will be on 9/11.
Oh, how appropriate.
Yes.
Okay.
That's our color guard. So each year we try to have a different color guard, and so these folks are in the Air Force Air Guard.
Yeah, and this year I believe it's the Native American will be doing the color guard this year.
Yep.
Nice.
That's a Banfield Animal or Pet Hospital.
Oh yeah.
They donate services every year, and so folks can bring in their pets or service animals. And they actually have some pretty comprehensive services available.
That's great.
Really important.
Yeah.
And Bishops provides haircuts. I've done that for several years now, and they have a lot of fun.
I was going to say, they look like they're having fun, don't they?
Yeah. He's getting a good haircut.
Yeah.
And Starbucks is pretty remarkable, honestly, with the stand down. They provide tons of staff. They serve coffee, light breakfast.
They're big into volunteering.
They are. They support another piece of transition projects too.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's some folks getting their Starbucks in the morning, coming in.
And then there's a lot of staff that helps with kind of one-on-one what they're looking for, what kind of resources they need. Just to kind of help navigate throughout the stand down.
Right.
Because there's a lot of different rooms that have all kinds of different services.
Yeah.
So getting to the one that you really
have a
need.
map that people can.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Good. A site map. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. That's a horse.
It's a pony.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, it's Banfield again.
Yeah.
That's
like
so
he's
cute.
well taken care of.
That's so cute.
Yes.
And pets are really important to people that, they're important to everybody, but for somebody who's homeless, that can be so much more than just a pet.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's a lifeline.
Yeah. That's really important.
Yeah.
So, are you still looking for organizations or people to businesses to be at this? Or are you still looking for volunteers? What do you need for this event?
Yeah, we're looking for everything.
Everything.
So the Boeing Company is our presenting sponsor this year. First year we've ever had a presenting sponsor.
That was a good
Boeing.
one. Yeah, that was a good score there.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're really excited and thankful for that.
Yeah.
We don't do any grants for the stand down or anything, so we fundraise the entire cost of it every year.
That's a lot too.
So we're always looking for donations and volunteers as well.
Okay.
The registration will close pretty soon for service providers and employers, but we are looking for more service providers and employers. So if folks are interested in volunteering, being a service provider or an employer, they can go to www.pdxstanddown.org.
Okay.
And
very good.
Yeah.
And we should probably have the information on the screen at the end of the show too.
Okay,
so
good.
people
that'd
can
be great.
know where to go to get more information,
Yeah.
and so they can go there if they want to find out how to attend. And this can anybody attend? I mean, is it free? Is it?
It's free, and it's intended for veterans and their families. And so,
because I would think families might want to come if they're around to be able to better support their.
Yep. And so, if you served in the military at all, whether it was the National Guard or you were active duty for 20 years, if you took the oath, you are welcome at the stand down.
Discharge status does not matter.
Yep. That's probably good to know too. Yeah, that's good to know too. Good. Well, I appreciate you coming today to tell about Portland Veteran Stand Down. It sounds like a really great event that's a great resource for people, and I'm glad to be able to share about that.
Yeah,
any last words? Anything else we should know? I think we covered pretty well.
I think we covered a lot.
Okay,
Come to the
good.
stand down.
Yes, thank you so much, Monica.
Yes, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you both so much. And thanks for coming on Community Hotline. We have one more segment coming up. If you want more information, the website should be on the screen, so do check it out, and don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
And by Stamp Connection and BeFit Gyms. A very special thanks to all the sponsors who help make our programming possible.
I'm Joy from the Portland Kitchen. Community Hotline has been devoted to supporting the work of local nonprofits for over 20 years. With 40+ shows a year, featuring more than 100 nonprofit guests, MetroEast is the go-to place to find out about the great work of nonprofits like ours. Tune in every Wednesday at 7 to see the show.
What local community media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.
Hi, welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Now we're going to end our show tonight talking with the Springwater Job Corps Center and Springdale. Okay. We have Springwater all over out here, but Springdale Job Corps Center. And here to represent the center, we have Naomi Olstead. You are the center director.
Yes,
thanks for being here, Naomi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Carlos Vivian, you are the automotive collision repair and refinish student. Or not the one, but one of them, I assume. Yeah, thanks for being here, Carlos.
You're welcome.
So Springdale is right in our neck of the woods here, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the Job Corps itself, if you would.
Sure.
Just a little history, if you could.
Right. Well, Job Corps has been around for quite a long time, even though sometimes, I'll say, I work at Job Corps, and a lot of times people are like, what's that?
Yes.
And
it's kind of amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and Job Corps has been around for 50 years. It's a long time.
Yeah.
It was started by Lyndon B. Johnson. It was part of Lyndon B. Johnson's War on Poverty program.
Mm-hmm.
So it was about taking underrepresented populations and helping them get jobs. So therefore,
something
Job
we're
Corps.
still trying to do today. Which
I know,
is,
we're still working on it.
Yeah. So how has it changed in those years?
I think at the beginning, now I wasn't there 50 years ago, but I think at the beginning it was really about just getting jobs. We're looking for entry-level jobs, and that's the whole focus, is to get them employed.
Yeah.
And over the years, we've really changed, the program has changed so that we're really focusing on the long-term career pathways for these students. It's not just about going out and getting a job.
It's not just working at McDonald's or whatever. It's actually something you can do for the rest of your life and actually maybe enjoy it.
Yeah, and think ahead. Where are you going to be after that job in 5 years? Where's that job going to take you in 10 years?
Right. And is it a job that you can live on?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think those are all good and important things. So this location there's Job Corps all over the United States. And this one the Springdale one is in the Gorge area, correct? Can you tell us a little bit about where that is and what makes that one different than other ones? Because they're different from one Job Corps center to another, right?
Right.
Very different.
Yeah, our Job Corps Center is, first, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like a summer camp. It's probably one of I would say, the most beautiful centers that there is. And I've been to a lot of centers, and we're pretty fortunate to have the location that we're at. But it's out along the old Columbia River Highway, just past Dabney Park. So a lot of people have driven by it and never know what it is.
Right.
There's a giant metal dragon. Yes.
When you go by that, you know you're there, right?
Yeah, that's it. And a lot of people go, I never knew what was back there, but there's a whole campus back there.
Wow.
So we have a dormitory where students stay, and we have all the trades, and it's like summer camp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Carlos, how did you happen to get involved with the Job Corps?
I got involved through a teacher in high school, and I just wanted to see what I wanted to do after high school because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I started looking into getting into working on cars.
It's hard to figure out what you want to do when you're in high school.
It's scary.
Yeah, it is. It can be very scary. But you liked working on cars, or you thought you might like that?
I've done a little bit.
Yeah.
Before, so I took a tour there, and I got interested, and I had already applied for it. And then during the summer, they called me and they said that I was ready to come.
Great. So how long have you been there now?
I've been there a year and a month.
So is this a year-round program then?
It's a two-year program.
2 years, and you're there all year?
All year. It depends how long it takes me to finish.
Oh, okay. So not everybody's on the same trajectory then?
Yeah, it's open entry, open exit. So we receive students every 3 weeks. We get a new group. We have a new group coming in next week, 12 new students. And then we have students that are finishing up what they've done. They've graduated. They're getting ready to move on. And that happens every other week.
Wow.
Yeah.
You keep them coming, huh?
We do. It's a constant flow of students coming in and going out. And because it's individualized, they have up to 2 years to complete what they need to complete, but they don't have to take 2 years. And most of them will spend maybe a year and a half to finish what they need. But it's completely individually paced.
That's great. That's great. Does the pace work for you, Carlos? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah, I bet you have. What now? Do you live there then? You're there. Okay. So does everybody live there, or there's some people that are only come during
There's
the
some
day?
that are non-resident students. Most of our students live there. I think we have 15 to 20 right now that are non-resident students.
How many students do you have over?
We have 139.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
And then we have a satellite center in Northwest Portland, the Pivot Job Corps Center. And at Pivot, we have 60 non-residential students.
Wow. And they have other career paths, though, right? That's not the same?
Well, we both have office administration,
Okay.
but Pivot also has medical office support. We don't offer that.
Okay. And do you have some things they don't do?
We have a pharmacy technician and auto body collision and repair, protective services. Students study to be entry-level security work.
Okay.
And what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting, Carl?
Any outdoor jobs like
auto body paint?
Auto body collision repair. Oh, CNA.
CNA.
Of
Okay.
course.
Certified nursing assistant.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about living there, Carlos. Is it a good experience? Do you get what you need there? I mean, how do you pay for food and books and just staying there? How does all that work?
The center there, they provide everything for us. They provide meals, housing, lighting, living, pretty much.
Wow. That's a pretty good deal,
and
huh?
And at every trade hat, if you need something, everything is provided there at the school.
Now, is this a government program, right? You said it was started by Lyndon B. Johnson, so it is a government program. Is your funding then from the government then? Okay.
Funded through the Department of Labor.
Okay. And there's no charge to the students?
Correct.
So who qualifies to be part of Job Corps?
Well, 16 to 24 years old is the entry level. So if you're over 24, that doesn't work so well. And if you're 7, we don't have a trade for you yet. But and they need to meet low income requirements.
Okay.
But and those are quite broad, or be considered at risk for some reason. So if you've dropped out of high school, you're likely to be considered at risk.
Okay.
And if you've been on food stamps, anything like that,
So
you're going to qualify.
So if you're not sure, ask.
Yes.
Yeah. So you provided some pictures of some of the activities going on there. I think maybe we could take a look at those.
Great.
So what are we looking at? Oh, this looks like it might be Carlos's area.
Oh,
huh?
Yeah.
So what are we doing here? Just working on a car part?
Carlos, what are they doing? What's he doing there?
They're sanding down a bumper. They're probably going to do plastic repair, which they cut a piece out, and then they have different materials that they use to repair it with plastic because it is a plastic bumper.
I would not have known that. And this is also automotive, is that right?
This is auto body paint. One of the students there is painting a front bumper for a car or a truck.
Okay.
This student is doing buffing on a bumper or a car.
So yeah, collision repair and refinish. That's all makes sense. Yeah.
Is that one of the bicycles?
Yeah, they're so we have bikes there, and it's a self-paced project where you sand down all the original paint, and then you can paint it to however you want.
We do. We work with Community Cycling Center, so that we bring their bicycles on and refinish them, make them all nice.
Oh, how nice!
Yeah,
that's great.
That's a bench from a old school truck that they took out, and they're making it into a.
What's the bench? Oh, okay.
They added the legs and the supports to make it into a couch for dorms.
Yeah, it's it's in our dorms right now.
How fun!
Yeah, the finished product.
That's recycling at its best, huh?
This is one of our security students. He's doing a walk around center, just doing calling back to a trade that checking in for where he is.
They do regular patrols because that helps them prepare for the job in security. That's what they're going to be doing.
I used to hire security guards. I know. Yeah.
It's in pharmacy technology, so they need to learn how to count out all the medication, make sure all the ratios are correct, fill the prescription accurately.
Yeah, very important.
They're using beans there. That's what we use because we don't have any medication on center for them to use.
That's good. That makes sense.
We invest a lot in dried beans.
Dried beans.
Yes, and if there's an emergency, we're all going to eat.
You're going to have soup for days.
Yeah.
I love it.
So that's more pharmacy tech, working on some stuff there.
So there's females and males.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about 50-50.
Is it really?
It is. Yeah. This is office administration, so students are, learning Microsoft Word Suite, PowerPoint, all those good things, presentation skills. This is protective services. You can see they're doing their fingerprinting.
Yeah.
CNA.
Yep.
Yeah. We work with Mount Hood Community College right now, so we're able to do their foundation work and get them prepared and set up, and then they're working with Mount Hood for their CNA.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So do most of the students then go through a course at Springdale and then go on to other education, or do some of them just go into jobs?
That's the whole focus, is to try to help them develop their career pathway. So some of them will finish their trade and they'll go on to advanced training, because Job Corps offers advanced training, and you can stay up to a whole year additional past the 2 years if you move on to advanced training.
Oh, wow.
So we've had students pursuing their LPN. And they'll go to New York. They've been to Iowa. There's Job Corps centers all over the country, like we said. So there's a lot of opportunities for students to come finish their training. In Carlos's trade, there's a huge auto body repair and mechanics program in Utah, and many of our students have gone and they've been really successful there.
Is that something you're going to consider doing?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into there. Right now, I just got to finish down in auto body paint and get my tape scores up, which is a basic testing for adult, so we know how to do our reading, our math.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then that'll help.
And then the application process.
Good.
So the idea is to have your future education and your future career pathway set up when you leave, so you know what you're doing. So if you're going into a job, you're going straight to employment, then we are hoping that you're considering then what's your next step with that position. Are you going to be promoted? Are you moving on to...
Can you move up? Is there room for upward mobility?
Exactly. Job Corps has a goal that we want all students to make as an initial placement wage. And but we all know that placement wage is not going to carry you independently into life for very long.
Especially if you end up having a family too.
Yes. So the idea is you can go out and make that initial wage, but where's your upward mobility and how's that going to happen? And maybe it happens through college. We do have a connection with Mount Hood Community College, where we have a number of students who are living here on Center with Springdale, but they're going to Mount Hood Community College.
Oh, okay.
So they're actually Mount Hood Community College students, but they're also living here with us.
That's a unique kind of
a
little way to work together. I bet you have some pretty good community partners that you work with. Do you have other?
We do. We have some excellent employer partners. We work with Mackins, has been a really excellent partner for us.
That could be one for you.
Northwest Enforcement. We really rely on those community partners and our employer partners, because we can't, I'm not going to be able to go in and know what to teach in auto body.
Really?
I know. I look like that
I'm surprised,
kind of person,
but
so we really rely on those community partners to make sure that we've got the right equipment, that we've got the right materials, that we're teaching what we need to teach. We moved to water-based paint because of our employer-based partners telling us this is where we need to go.
As the industry's changed, you have to keep up. Otherwise, there's no point.
We can't be siloed. We've got to be connected with all of our community partners and our employers.
That makes sense. We're almost out of time. Carlos, tell me if somebody's interested possibly in joining Job Corps, what can you tell them that might convince them it's worth the time?
It's a lot different than high school, which you can go there to get your GED or your high school, and you can also do a trade, which I've gotten a lot of support from everybody there on Center. Not just including Naomi, but everybody there. We're just asking, and they'll help you in any way they can.
That's great. Made some good friends.
And also giving a lot of effort, and that the staff will treat you good.
Good. Convinced me. I think that's a great opportunity for youth to be able to take advantage of that. So if people are interested in getting their kids in there, if the kids, are interested in coming, can they just check out your website?
Check out the
tours?
website.
Can they come out and?
Yes, we have tours regularly. Okay. So if they call the center, we'll hook them up with a tour, and that way they can really see it. It is hard to explain what it is. Once you go there and you see it, it's powerful. I mean, it's an amazing program, and we're doing incredible stuff.
I can tell you're proud of it, and that you should be.
So when people come on Center, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
I need to come out there for a tour.
Yeah.
Check it out. Thank you both of you for being on the show tonight. I'm sorry we are out of time because I think there's a lot more you could tell us about Springdale. So we can have you on again.
Okay.
And best of luck to you, and I hope that all of your career goals come true and that everything turns out really well for you. I have a feeling it will. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thanks, Monica.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for watching Community Hotline. And we're here next week at the same time, so we'll see you then.
Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mountain Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
And by Stamp Connection and BeFit Gyms. A very special thanks to all the sponsors who help make our programming possible.